Hey everyone, welcome to my first legitimate jungle guide for Season 10. With the new season beginning soon, I thought this would be the perfect time for some tips and tricks in the jungle to help achieve your rank goals. Whether that be gold, platinum, diamond, or even masters, I hope this video will help you improve your gameplay. Now, a couple things about me before I begin, as this is one of my newer videos. I peaked this season at Grandmasters around 224 LP. Now, my goal for this Season 10 is to finally hit Challenger. I play mainly assassin junglers, for example, let's say Kha'Zix, Rengar, but I also enjoy Graves and Lee Sin as well. I've been practicing and theory crafting a lot for this upcoming season, so I hope these tips will help you improve as well. Thanks for watching and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Here's my really scuffed tier list. So basically, first I'll say the champions and then I'll explain why. So S plus I have Lee, Olaf, Graves is a maybe because I think he's really strong, but I just need more games and higher elo on him to really label him S plus. But for sure, Lee and Olaf S plus. And then S tier, I'd say Kha'Zix, Rengar, Elise, Jarvan. A tier, I have Echo, Rek'Sai, Warwick, Kayn, Jin Zhao. Now, if you're trying to climb, I recommend these specific champions. If you just play for fun, or I guess if you're a one trick, go ahead, try out the champions. But I really highly recommend these champions. My reasoning behind these champions being really strong is mainly because early game junglers are going to be the best. Now, before how it was that say you were level 8 in season 9 and the enemy jungler was say level 5, level 6. Anytime they'd clear camps, they'd receive more XP because of catch-up experience. So that's been gutted, so that's removed now. So now how it works is basically how it was before. Say you're level 8, same scenario, they're level 5, they receive the same XP as you would if you were to clear those camps, which is essentially a great thing because then it punishes bad pathing, punishes people who are worse than you at jungle. So I guess the idea that better jungle wins is more true for this season. So that's why I highly recommend these early game champions. Ones that can just keep killing the enemy jungler, invade, outplay. With Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, Olaf, they all have really big outplay potential, as well as to run them down, especially with Olaf. Now, Rengar, Elise, Jarvan, they're also really strong. Again, same reason. They're really strong early game skirmishes, and that's why, hence I have these champions on that tier. Rek'Sai, Echo, Warwick, Kayn, Jhin, they're all pretty strong, but I just feel like the champions above are just better versions of them. I feel like Echo would still be pretty strong. I just haven't tested him enough. Maybe he is S tier. Because at the end of season 9 he was really broken. But yeah, mainly because of the red side clear, he would be really healthy clearing out red side. Look for game dueling potential as well. So yeah, this is my tier list. I do recommend you guys play these champions if you guys want to win your games more. Now let's start with the pathing. So I'll show you guys what the paths are next. So the best path, most optimal path, is to do buff, then Gromp. That'll be your fastest level 3. So in this scenario, I'm starting bot side because starting red buff because bot lane would leash me here. So I clear my red, I then clear my blue, then I'd clear Gromp, and I'm level 3, right? Now, depending on lane matchups and whatnot, right? Say my mid has priority, my top has priority too. I would just look for an invade on his red if I knew he started bot side. Now, if I knew he started top side in this specific game, say he started blue buff, he would probably be at his red buff by the time I'm there. I would probably be there first actually, in case he did an entire blue side clear to get level 3. If that's the case, I'm Warwick, and most duels I would win. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's a situation where the enemy jungler would win the duel unless I completely misplayed my fear or whatnot, right? So I'm at a red buff, my mid and bot up, or my mid and top have prio. I just kill him there. Alright, that's the power of this clear. Now, that's why I also highly recommend early game skirmish junglers. So you can make plays like these, right? Amumu couldn't do something like this. Sejuani couldn't do something like this either because they just can't clear enough fast enough. Also, they just don't have that dueling potential at level 3 as a Warwick or a Lee Sin or something might would. Yeah, so I'll show you. Now, this next path is mainly for if you want to play for your bot side, right? Say you have like a Thresh or you have a Blitzcrank or really like hard CC support where you know that if you gank, it's free kills, right? Say it's like Thresh Zaya versus, I don't know, um, Kaisa Janna or something, right? Where you can easily just, if Thresh hooks, or if you just press W on them as Graves, any tournaments you see Thresh could just flay it and it's free kill, right? So again, the other thing is you should expect the enemy jungler to start topside. Another thing you can do is if you're really strong level 2, this is where Jarvan, Xin Zhao really come in handy, and they aren't as strong level 2. I mean, I like say it's like a Lee Sin, right? Or say it's a Kha'Zix. They're not as strong level 2 as Xin Zhao or Jarvan is, right? So this is a perfect time to invade, right? Because they would probably be doing Gromp at this point as soon as you finish your red. And they're probably, I don't know, 3/4 HP while you're full. With red buff, you would definitely win that. Now, you also got to play through your mid and your bot having prio to be able to do this, right? So the plus side to doing this is if you're stronger level 2, you should go for it if you know he's starting blue. If you know he's starting top side, you could also still do this play, take his blue buff and gank bot lane after, right? If the gank is good, right? Now, I wouldn't do this play if I had, for example, I don't know, a Lulu and Ezreal bot lane, right? It's really hard for Lulu Ezreal to set up a gank for me, and B, it's just not worth the time, right? I'd rather maybe either do a full clear if I have something strong like that, right? Another thing I thought I'd add is the fact that the jungle camps do spawn faster. So before in Season 9, how it worked is when you counter jungle, you clear all the camps because it takes forever for them to respawn. So by the time the enemy jungler was there, the camps were already gone, right? Now how it works is the camps respawn a lot faster. So if you do that thing, when the jungler gets there, when the enemy jungler gets there, the camps are probably back up, and you actually end up giving him more XP, which in turn makes him, I guess, get ahead more. So now what you want to do is try and leave a small one. Say you're counter jungling his wolves, you want to leave one of the baby wolves. That way when the enemy jungler gets there, he won't receive the XP, whereas you get the XP because you both cleared that camp and your own camps. Now if you're already ahead, there's no way he's going to be invading you, and from there you just snowball and basically win the game. Go over Kha'Zix, Graves, Rengar, and Lee Sin, as those are the champions I play the most, and those are also the champions I will be playing the most for this season, as I think they'll be the strongest. I also know them best, that's why I feel like I'm only going to go over them to give you guys the best advice and tips to climb better with those champions. Starting off, I'll go over Kha'Zix. Now with Kha'Zix, I would go Electrocute almost always. I mean, Conqueror is cool, but like the Electrocute, you need that for the one-shots, just the way you play Kha'Zix. Now secondary, I would go Inspiration with free boots and CDR, as I just want to snowball the game. I don't want to spend money on 300 gold where I could just buy a longsword instead and just get stronger and stronger and snowball faster. The way Kha'Zix is played is you just want to keep killing, end the game quickly before they start getting armor items, and yeah, that's just brute force the way in and just early game and just win the game, right? Now the next champion. Now this is Rengar's runes. Conquer is insanely good on Rengar. A, because you jump on them and you do your combo and you fully stack Conquer basically, and B, it's really good for cleanups. Whereas if you had Electrocute, it's a one-time proc on teamfights. Whereas with Conquer, you just keep fighting with the damage, with the healing. It's just all around amazing rune. Another thing you have with Conquer is the Bloodline. So you have that lifesteal. It really helps for clearing for early jungle camps as well. And then I take Relentless Hunter for the movement speed. You could also take Ultimate Hunter, but my argument against Ultimate Hunter is because there's so many cloud dragons and stuff. You get that early, you already get ult cooldown reduction. So at that point, it's just excessive. With the movement speed, it's really nice. Also, you don't really need Ravenous Hunter because you have that lifesteal. So I mean, there's no really point in having that. So the movement speed is really nice for early game pathing and ganking. Another thing is, my name is inspired from Renguu. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but yeah, I mean, he was a one trick of mine back in season 5, 4, and 6. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's going to be really strong, especially because of the new dragons, where some of them would give extra bushes. And there's already extra bushes now by blue buff and, yeah, no, just by blue buff, both blue buffs, there's just an extra bush for Rengar to utilize, which is amazing. Now for Lee Sin, the best runes are probably going to be Conquer with Triumph. You can alternate between the attack speed. I forgot what it's called, the attack speed one or the tenacity one. Depending on if they have CC or not. And then secondary, you can choose between domination or inspiration. My idea is that you already get healing from Conqueror, so might as well just go for the early game runes and try and close out the games earlier. That's why I would go inspiration. Otherwise, I mean, if the matchup requires me to go Ravenous Hunter, say I'm against a tougher matchup like Kha'Zix, or I mean, I win against Kha'Zix, but I mean the healing would help against Kha'Zix as well as Lee Sin. Yeah, I mean it's just situational, but yeah, these are the runes that are the best for Lee Sin this season. This Conqueror is really strong on him. Now, last but not least, of course, we have Graves. Now, with Graves, since Conqueror got nerfed, the best runes are probably Fleet Footwork with either Sorcery or Inspiration secondary. I personally like Sorcery better because of Nimbus Cloak, where you'd smite them and just get that extra movement speed. It's honestly insanely strong, especially on a raid champion like Graves. It really allows you to be more slippery, allows you to self-kite better, self-peel, and just chase down your enemies harder too. I mean, it's a great rune on Graves, and I highly recommend you take that rune. You could also go Inspiration for the early game, but I mean, I guess honestly, Sorcerer is probably better, your best bet. So yeah, I mean, yeah, these are the runes I'd go for these 4 champs. Last couple advice tips I want to give out are being able to play the game with the mindset of wanting to win. Right now, the biggest thing is your mental. If your mental is doomed, you can't expect to win games more. The stronger, the more positive you are, the less you tilt, the more you'll win. Right, the more you'll make better decisions. Another thing is a really actually big thing that helped me climb personally is not autopiloting. Right, every time you're doing a play, ask yourself, why am I doing this play? Why am I taking Dragon at this time? Is it okay if I take Dragon at this time? Why aren't I topside where the jungler is? You gotta ask yourself these questions so you aren't autopiloting, so that way you're making the best decisions possible at the given time. Another thing is I struggled on a lot is once I get an early game lead, what do I do with it, right? How do I snowball? There's not really many videos that teach you how to snowball, right? They tell you you can snowball, but what do you do once you get the ball rolling? How do you play it out, right? So in this game, I mean, I'm playing a Mumu. This is season 9. This is before the preseason. But what I did for this game was I just played around bot side, bot and mid, mainly because I got a really easy gank off them, lose their summoners, and I just kept playing off them, get more items, and just annihilate their bot lanes so they can never come back, right? I mean, it's Brand Jhin. Once they're behind, they're not as useful. I mean, I guess they still have CC and whatnot, but their damages are really low if they're behind. So we just keep killing them, as well as Zed, who just keeps killing Veigar. There's no way they come back when they were that ahead, right? So I mean, it's just playing off your win conditions. A really big thing is when you're in champion select, that's when you should be thinking about the game, right? What's your matchups? What lanes you're gonna play for? If you're gonna invade or if you're just gonna hard farm? How to carry and stuff like that, right? That's the biggest thing, right? And yeah, I mean, I hope this video helps. Again, this is one of my first like actual guide videos, so I would really appreciate some feedback into how I can improve my videos better too. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you guys learned something new. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the Rift.